smiles like a Georgia summer, and she laughs with the sound of thunder. I wanna dance like this again. I'm not the American kind. I've said it now.
First of all, I wasn't expecting to come to camp. Last summer I came to camp and it was such a blast. Had a great time, but I felt like God hadn't called me back to camp this summer. So I had several interviews and jobs lined up, and my heart was set on going and doing those. But it all kind of fell through, and it started to be pretty evident that God actually had me plan to be at camp.
And I was just expecting to be able to like really comfortable with the kids and to love on them and just have really close relationships with them immediately. But I didn't realize that some weeks you could be close with 3 girls that really needed a lot of love and attention, and then the next week you'll be close with all of them. I just didn't know how to gauge each cabin because they're all different.
Well, I think I'm lucky because I've been here for so long that I generally knew what to expect, and I thought it was just a fun counselor thing that I'd always seen. But the things that were different than I expected is I got a little more tired than I thought. And I knew it was going to happen, but I still got tired a lot.
I didn't really know what to expect because I've never worked at a camp before. However, I'm pretty sure that they were all blown away. Like, I'm pretty sure that everything that I thought camp was going to be was like 10 times better. 10 billion times better. And let's see, I didn't really know what to expect about like the whole structured thing, like a structured schedule, because I'm actually a really like free-spirited person. I just kind of go with the flow, don't really plan that much. But the coolest thing about camp, or one of the coolest things about camp, is that like even though it is kind of structured, you still have freedom to do pretty much like whatever you feel like God wants you to do.
I would say that when, like during staff training, like when I started meeting staff and like hearing about camp more and like what a typical day looks like, that I definitely started to like expect for the summer to be a really great one. And it was that my expectations were far exceeded.
It was different in everything that it was, and so my expectations changed from knowing what was going on to really completely relying on God and expecting Him to do things.
I think it was almost more fun than I ever expected too. So that's plus.
Feels like we're moving backward.
So the best memory I had from the summer was during Youth Week, and this is the week where all the high schoolers were here. The reason my best memory was here was because it was the first time this summer where I had kids that were about to age out of high school, or like a lot of older kids. And towards the end of the week, a couple guys came up to me and they just wanted to talk to me and opened up about a lot of stuff, and it really just blew me away. Like, that was what I was wanting the whole summer, was to be able to relate with the kids enough and be open with them enough that they would be open in return. And one guy did that. He would just talk to me, and just all the stuff that he opened up about really blew my world and humbled me, because I didn't know how to respond. It's a lot of stuff that I'd never been through before, a lot of brokenness that I never experienced. But there was so much joy in that moment because I got to share the gospel with him and share the joy that Christ had revealed to me, and just share that with him so that he could experience that same joy and overcome those things that to him seemed to like rule his world and seemed to break him down.
I think my best memory may have been one night a girl from our cabin, she was 10, came up to me and Lauren Kepke and asked how she could accept Christ into her heart, and it was just one of the sweetest things that I could have ever been a part of.
And like one of my favorite memories I think from camp was during Youth Week. There was just one day where it was literally like so much Jesus packed in that day. Like, I think I woke up and like talked to someone about Jesus for a long time, and then I went to lunch, and then I talked to someone else about Jesus for a really long time, and then that night I just got to like speak truth into a lot of people that day, and it was just so exciting to see that like everyone on camp was so fired up about Jesus, and you could just literally like see the curiosity in people's eyes and like see how much people really wanted to learn more about Jesus.
My best memory from camp was skit night, talent show night. We had, or music video night. We had one girl who was really uncomfortable being on stage, and she's really self-conscious. and we did the One Direction song, What Makes You Beautiful. And while we were practicing, she kind of stood off in the corner of the cabin, and then the rest of the girls all come up and they start singing the song to her and encouraging her just like they would the crowd. And they sang the entire song to her while they were practicing, and it just, me and Lauren kept teared up. It was so great.
Specifically in my cabin though, I guess just like asking them about their lives, because they don't really care about mine. Like, my life's not that cool, so like I think they're cool, and I want to know what's going on in their lives. So just talking to them about that, that's a way I find like I can interact easily with kids.
The best way to relate to kids is just ask questions. The more you ask questions, the more they know that actually you care about them. And the more you get to know about them, the more you can speak truth into their lives, and just get to love on them as much as possible. So I would say just honestly be yourself and ask questions and be interested in their lives and be all there for them.
Grew a lot in how like I loved people. My view on that changed.
Honestly, loving the kids, being present and focused on Jesus every single day, being around really great kids and peers that are my age that can like pour into each other as well as we're pouring into the kids.
Don't be like anxious or nervous about like having campers in a cabin and being in charge of kids, and don't be nervous about like planning devotions and doing them, because like honestly God will help you so much if you just like rely on Him. And
Don't set expectations in bonding with staff. Don't set expectations in how close you're going to get with your kids. I would just let the Spirit lead and just like let God reveal to you what He might. And also don't come in it looking at it as a job. Look at it as an opportunity to like love kids and love kids well and just give them your all. Because if you look at it, you have to accomplish X, Y, and Z, there's no room for the Spirit to lead.
I would say don't worry about trying to be something that you're not. Always be yourself, because you may feel like when you start camp that you have to be somebody. That you have to be fun and exciting and you have to impress these kids, when really they already have such a huge respect for you and they barely just met you.